Greg Bishop at the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee, here with the Center Square, and we're talking with Washington State Trump delegate Jolie Lansdowne. Jolie, thanks for taking time with us here. We'll talk about your experience thus far, maybe some politics that are going on in Washington State, but I want to get your reaction to what happened Saturday with President Donald Trump, the assassination attempt, and really the politics and the rhetoric heading into November.
Yeah, well, like all of us on Saturday, were just alarmed, and I think just responding to the trauma of having something like this happen in our nation. After the initial alarm, I'm just overwhelmed with thankfulness. We could be having a very different week here this week, and I'm overwhelmed at just the protection and the courage and the faithfulness that Trump has for our country.
And how does this impact the political conversations? You yourself running for office, moving forward, does it change how you approach maybe your opponent?
Well, I think I don't think so much that, but I think in Washington State, we've already seen a lot of unity begin to happen over these last few months. Washington is amazing. Seattle is a beautiful place to live, and we have some pretty concerning circumstances now, and we're seeing that really draw people out who wouldn't maybe have voted before. They're drawing them out to be more engaged in local government and vote more and become more aware of the issues. And so I think if anything, it's adding to some of that momentum.
Washington State politics, Democrats in control. How do Republicans gain ground?
It's a great question. Yeah, we're just a few seats away from a supermajority in the House. One of the reasons I'm running, but the Common Sense Party. I had the honor of being the chair of the King County Platform Committee in the state of Washington, and got to talk with everybody throughout King County about the issues that really matter to them. And we're really seeing people from all areas, not just Democrats, but middle of the road people, maybe folks who haven't previously been engaged in local government, haven't maybe voted before. It's really an exciting time, honestly, as difficult it is to see some of the reasons why people are getting engaged. The result and the fruit of it is really powerful to see. It's unifying in our state, and I'm actually very encouraged at what is happening in Washington.
Well, talk about the ballot initiatives. In talking with Jim yesterday, he discussed how that could draw a lot of people out who may end up pulling the ballot for Republicans.
Yeah.
Talk about those and how you see that impacting things.
Yeah, that's another excellent example. One of the initiatives is the gas initiative to essentially stop the ability for folks to have gas. And over half, over 50% of the folks in Seattle and King County specifically have natural gas appliances. And so to, force folks to completely remodel, half the kitchens in the city, it's just not realistic. Yes, we need to be mindful of our uses of energy. Diversity is our strength in energy, but giving folks the freedom to choose how and when they do that. Folks in Washington are already very ecologically minded, very environmentally smart, very conscious of taking care of our beautiful environment. So we don't need to force people to do those kinds of things. So it's really caused folks to get out and sign the initiatives. It's been overwhelmingly successful to say, we want the right to choose how much gas we use, and that you shouldn't take it away, you shouldn't ban it or limit it or force us to get rid of our gas appliances. So that's been a key issue that's across the board, inspiring people to come out.
Trump being at the top of the ticket.
Yeah.
Is that something else you think is going to be bringing people to the polls who may have not actually been involved or interested in politics?
Yeah, well, I sure do. And I'll tell you, people wouldn't maybe think that's the first thing in Washington State. We know that under Trump a few years ago, we had, our housing situation looked different, our economy looked different. We were living a pretty good life, and right now things are very concerning. I know a young couple I was just talking to, they make $200,000 a year between the two of them, and they feel poor. They can't afford to buy a house, and this is the real story of real people in our region. And we know that the business principles that Trump brings, restorative solutions to our homeless situation that is poor policy driven. There's solutions that are sustainable and wise that we know that he'll bring. So I do really think it's drawing people out.
And your experience so far here at the convention, is this your first convention?
Yes, it is my first convention.
Well, what are your thoughts?
What a first convention to be at, right? It's been an amazing experience to just be unified. You know, I think to just, I'll tell you, to see folks from all 50 states and 6 territories gathered together, you know, in one purpose for love of our country. Ultimately, we all love our country. You know, I've got 5 kids that want to stay in Washington State, you know, so we're all really working hard for the next generation, and it's wonderful to be in such a unified atmosphere.
Jolie Lansdowne, a delegate from Washington State for Donald Trump. Greatly appreciate you taking the time here with the Center Square at the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. I'm Greg Bishop.
Thank you, Greg.